If you're working as an assistant with TCP at a team session, typically you'll have one of two jobs. You'll either help me with collecting forms, so you'll have this box, or you'll be with me taking the pictures. You'll be writing down names, that kind of thing. We're first going to start with the person working the table. So in this is basically your toolbox for the day, along with sometimes a table depending on the session. But what you'll have in this trash can basically is clipboards, a few different clipboards, some extra forms that you can use if people they didn't get the email from the coach or something like that. You'll have some extra forms that they can use there. You'll also have a cash bag. So it has some change in it. It has extra pens, highlighters. It also has the credit card swiper that we use. And I'll kind of go over that in just a minute. The other thing, a few things it has in here is a file folder. So as you collect forms, you can put those by team in the different folders. That way, when I get everything back at the end of the day, I know exactly what goes with what team. So that goes with that as well. And then finally, there will be a notebook. The notebook, along with typically one of these clipboards, will go with the other assistant. And so they'll take that with them with a pen and help me collect names and take all the pictures. So as you work through, again, I generally just kind of have this out. Like I said, you'll be collecting forms. One of the biggest things you'll want to do is you'll go through, and as somebody hands you a form, you're going to take it, make sure that they have all of their name and school league, phone number. Of course, I need a phone number just in case I have a question about the form. Oh, that looks like a 1, but it could be a 4 or something like that. We may have to call and ask some questions. So a name, a phone number is very important. Also, as you look through, you'll kind of go through the form and add it up. So they have a $41 package plus a set of wallets. So you're going to look, add that up, $51 total, we're good to go. And so you're just kind of working through making sure their math is correct, making sure they have all their information that is needed on this form. A few pieces of information other than totals and that kind of thing that we need is if they have trading cards. If they've ordered trading cards, what you need to do is we need to make sure that they filled out their trading card stats. So those are our stats, numbers, height, weight, that kind of thing that will go on the back of their trading cards. And so we need to make sure that they have filled out as many as needed. It labels grade, birthday, height, weight, jersey number, position. If they have a position on the team, forward, defenseman, point guard, something like that, they can do that. Bats or kicks, you can also cross that out and say throws. Left or right, you can do that. And then the last space, it says your choice. And so if they have, in the past, some people have written a nickname, big hitter or something like that, or a special stat like record in wrestling. And so sometimes that, is an extra spot where people can put a special stat for their player. Going through, as we go through, you'll take a look at this, make sure again their total is correct. You can mark down, what they paid with a check, write their check number there, cash. For credit card, we can, if they have a credit card available, which sometimes is for school events, we don't see that very much because we don't see the parents. It's only the kids handing the forms in. And so when there are events, sessions with the parents present, typically for younger kids, we're able to swipe the credit card, and that actually saves me some money on fees. So if at all possible, we'd like to swipe the cards. If they haven't, if it's a school event and they've written their credit card number on the bottom here, along with all of the other information, again, one thing that we need to make sure everything is complete there. We can, if they've written it on the bottom, we won't necessarily mark paid just because it hasn't been paid. I need to run that credit card later either that night or the next day. So you just have to make sure that they do fill out the credit card information and have it all together. Typically what we'll do as you take them in, I would just stack them on top of each other. So you take the form, you take the check, and you put it in a stack. And then you take the next one, next cash, put it in the stack, and just stack that up. You can just keep them all together. And then again, once you have all of the teams, or most of the teams, you can put them in that file folder. What I'll do from there is, again, when I get home after the session, I'll take a look and go through everything, mark that, yes, they had paid cash or check or whatever. That does bring up one good point. If they need change, or if there are any special circumstances, like they paid with a check for half of it and then cash for another, or any circumstance like that, please write that down. If you give change, please write that down. So, and be as obvious as possible. Paid $20, $2 change given. Just something so when I look through it, I can relate, and you know, if my numbers are off, I can say, okay, I've got the $20, and then okay, that's why I'm short in the change bag or something like that. So feel free, be obvious right on there and say, you know, paid this much, but gave this much change. So feel free to be as, you know, obvious, and if you feel like it's a dumb thing, like, oh, he'll know that, no, put it on there anyways, because I want to make sure that I know that. As you collect them, again, you'll be collecting all the money. Of course, this is a bag of money, and so we need to make sure this is secure at all times. So if you have to, if I ask you to help me, or come on over and stand, you know, hold the light stand or something like that, please grab the money bin, and then also, of course, because the file folder has money in it too now, grab that as well and bring that with you. We don't want to necessarily leave that where anybody and everybody. We don't expect anybody to steal anything. However, you never know. You never know. So it's always a good thing. Zip it up, take it with you if I ask you to go somewhere or take something somewhere. So that's about it. If you have any questions again throughout the session, let me know. One thing, as we look through credit cards, you will go through and you'll actually use my phone to take the credit card. So typically what I'll do, if there's any thought that we may be swiping credit cards, then I will give you my phone. I'll log into the app, have it ready for you, and of course you'll have the swiper in the change bag. So this is the swiper. You'll see it has a headphone jack, and so you'll just plug that into the phone, and then I'll kind of guide you as to how you use that credit card app. So that'll probably be in another video, or I'll figure that out. But again, if you're swiping it, you can swipe it and write swiped on the order form. If there's a card number, don't write paid, don't write swiped. I'll take care of that later and key it in. So that's about it. Again, as always, if you have questions during the session, feel free to, you know, get my attention. I'm happy to help. So it's a pretty easy job. In the end, our main goal in any job, whether it's mine as a photographer or assistants, we're there to be kind. We're there to be extra patient. It's got to be a fun environment, because whether we take good pictures or not, they're going to remember the experience, parents and families. I've heard many times when parents say, oh yeah, we used to use another photographer, but there was a jerk. He was just a jerk and bossing people around and did this and did that. And that's what they remember. They didn't say if they were good photos or not. They said he was a jerk, or he was mean, or short temper, something like that. And so our main goal is to make this a fun experience, being nice to each other, nice and respectful to the parents and the kids, but also, again, making it a safe environment to where they feel comfortable and have a good experience. So that is our main goal for the day. We're taking pictures, but it is all about the experience. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. You can email me, call me, or at the session you can actually just grab me and say, hey Tom, I forgot how to do this. Feel free, it's not a big deal. So thanks a lot again for helping. I couldn't do it without you, so I appreciate every one of my assistants and all that they do. So thanks.